EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Love going to throw right away. Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
I'm sure after he called the ball and looked up, he thought to himself, uh-oh. Trying to find some space, trying to make people miss. But a swarm of defenders were there, and they dropped him behind the line of scrimmage.
A first carry for the All-Pro running back. It's Josh Jacobs. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on first down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on second.
From the 41, here's second down and 5. On play action. Love to throw. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And the Packers are going to have a first and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Here's Love. Touchdown, Packers! Jaden Reed, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Packers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Great stop by Devontae Wyatt, breaking through the line and stopping him cold.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And that's going to be caught downfield by Brown. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for Philly. 52 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Hurts. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Packers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. Following the interception, Love. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. The tight end in motion right. Jacobs going to try the middle. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Love, they go play action now. Completed out left to Dobbs. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Oh, and the hard count might have got him. This might be a first down. And that'll be a free 5 yards for the offense.
Just like a tennis match, that's just an unforced error. Stay alert, don't jump early, and give them free yardage.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Completes it again to Dobbs. And he'll go out of bounds right around the 40. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them, because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Eagles are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to 2 people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 24 yards to gain there, another first down as well.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
A first down carry for Barkley, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
2nd down and 4. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they'll accept that penalty, and that'll, of course, move the football up the field. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. Incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense, the firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Been a little bit of an interesting start. The first drive for him, Charles, they had the passing touchdown. The second drive, he threw the interception. So we'll see what this 3rd drive of the ball game brings.
Yeah, it's kind of the tiebreaker, isn't it? I mean, that's the tough part for them and for him because, yeah, things went really well in that first one, not so well on the second one. He wants to get back to what he did to get this game going.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2nd and 10. Throwing. Love. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
On 4th down, the Packers call on Daniel Whelan to punt. And back deep, Avery Williams. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Hurts finding Smith for the Philly first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The Packers with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. It's another 1st down as this time they get an even 20.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3-and-out.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
This to Jacobs on the toss right. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Off the play fake, Love. Able to find his man, Kraft. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that will bring up 3rd and 1.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Josh Jacobs taking it in from 4 yards out as his guys are able to extend their lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive, and how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Extra point from McManus is good, and that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. They had 3 tight ends in on that set, and they were really good at blocking for their running back.
And give them a lot of credit because in football nowadays, tight ends coming out of college often don't block very often. These guys have really developed into superior blockers, and that's why they use them in this formation so often.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
Now flags come in here. Looked like one of the Eagles might have moved. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. From the gun, it's Hurts. Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. Hurts to his former Alabama teammate Smith for an Eagle first down.
And not all spectacular catches are the result of a pass that maybe was not thrown quite right. Sometimes it's thrown in the perfect spot, and you have to just go get it. And he did that right there.
No fear there in the middle of the field. They'll give it to Barkley off the option play. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Quick slant here to Smith.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7. He'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Have to give credit for a nice play there, but also have to look at it as a blown assignment. He became a free runner that turned into a free hitter.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Running the toss here to Jacobs. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
As a linebacker, you're taught to stay just slightly behind the ball carrier just in case he makes a cutback. But when you find the gap, shoot it. And he found it all right. Took it straight into the backfield and made the tackle for a loss.
He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 65 yards.
I'll tell you what, this is not going to be a fun discussion at halftime for this defense. They've been absolutely taken advantage of in the first half. And here's another play for big yardage.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Love now. Got Dobbs over the middle. A gain of 8 there on the play. And now we've got a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And it's a Packers touchdown. Tucker Kraft from 4 yards out as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, got to give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free. And his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And that's going to be incomplete.
An attempt at a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll look to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Short throw, he's got Kraft. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
It'll go as a gain of 4, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's Love. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Working out of the gun. Love. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. And here's Daniel Whelan on now to punt. On the return is Williams. Call it an even 40-yard punt. 7, though, on the return. And it will be Eagles football 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
The last series for him, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Hurts.
This is Smith with a grab. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Kingsley Enagbare
just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Open man is Goddard, the tight end. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 28. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this 1st half.
Two yards to go, 2nd down.
They'll drop to throw. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock.
Well, this defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get 1st half scores just like this one.
The kick by Elliott is good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. So a late 3 there, and that'll help as they head into the break.
Talk about situational football and something they've worked on since the OTAs and mini camps the previous summer. They take care of the ball, get 3 points, knowing they're going to get the ball to start the 2nd half. That's the old 2-for-1 special to finish things off.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this 1st half as the kick is away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
The Packer offense heading back for one final 1st half drive. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They'll indeed try to run it out as they start on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. That's it for the 1st half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this 3rd quarter.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, the 1st half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the 1st half. They've seen what the defense has thrown at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive. but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
And Devontae Smith, the intended receiver.
But it'll be second down. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
When he runs that football, he's got a first.
He's there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
Throwing is Hurts.
Forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Quay Walker came through to make the sack. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. And that
He can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
Here's Hurts to throw.
He'll get this out to Barkley, complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time. And now it's 3rd and 3.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10.
At their own 16. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know, when you're at the end spot, you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
They only need a yard here. 3rd down and 1 after the penalty. To throw now. Here's Love. That is caught. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it 2nd down. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Love looking to throw it.
Short throw. He's got Kraft. And he will cover up as he's touched down after a short gain.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
3rd and 3. Now a toss to the left for Jacobs. And this will be a Packers first down as the tackle made it about the 43-yard line.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
A couple of first downs, has the football positioned at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. Once again, it's Jacobs. Shoves him aside. Gets through, and now an opening. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
103 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
So still 14 yards to go, 2nd down. Switching things up, they'll throw it now with Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
Two yards still to go. 3rd down now. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No, it appears they're going to mark him short of the 1st.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. 4th and 2, they got it. That was kind of that gray area. Is that a feel thing, whether you go run or pass there offensively?
I think it's a feel thing. It's a tendency thing about what you like to do yourself on offense, as well as knowing how strong they are against the run on defense. Got to make a decision, and they made the correct one.
And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. Love.
Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal.
Well, he does have 1 touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him 1st and goal. But you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a 2nd time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play.
Now Love.
And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. A great effort there. There to make the grab.
And the Packers take a 3-touchdown lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line.
He'll drop it off with Saquon Barkley.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And, Brandon, every running back wants to use their speed in order to get out in front of things. Sometimes you just have to be patient, let blocks develop. On that play, that didn't happen.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Complete. Smith has it.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41.
Gets this out quickly to Dotson.
They'll give him 4 yards there, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6.
Now back to throw. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 24-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
Fast, slow, it doesn't matter. If you give a quarterback enough room to escape, he can hit you for a big gain. You've got to give him a little more focus moving forward.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
Quick throw to Barkley.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down. They'll set up to throw.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. They're going to look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Partner, there's a downside to everything, and the danger of man coverage is if you're locking down your target, you often turn your back to the quarterback, and you don't see him. Sometimes you open up a big lane for him to hit you for big yardage, and that was an astute play by him to scramble out, see that lane, and burn them for a first down.
Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Hurts will throw.
Dancing to his left. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass.
Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they'll begin by running the option.
And he powers his way up past the 30. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the 4th quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
120. His big night continues. If you can keep getting fourth quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Here's Love. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The offense on third down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be 3rd and 6. Play fake. Here's Love. This pass caught. It's Dobbs with it. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 14. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
This is caught, and all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes.
And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Josh Jacobs, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Packers have put this one to bed here in the fourth quarter. But just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. That last drive, it was a good mix. Run, pass, defense on their toes.
And what really helps out in a big way is when you're doing the run-pass mix and everything's working, that means that they're guessing wrong every time on defense. They think you're going to pass when you run and vice versa. I would continue that, and when they finally draw a beat on you, maybe you mix it up a little bit, a little play action and throw the ball.
And will they maintain that balance? Time to find out.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Packers bringing in an extra member of the secondary here to try for the 3rd down stop.
Hurts. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He delivers another to Goddard, complete.
Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Hurts. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down.
From the gun, it's Hurts. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws. I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain.
The ball on the 32, it's 2nd and 2. Throwing is Hurts. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Here's Hurts to throw.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Kingsley Enagbari able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, partner, you and I will be headed to the airport, but after this game, when it's interview time, someone's going to ask this quarterback what hurt worse, the interceptions or the sacks. His whole day, it's been rough. Barring a miraculous comeback, this offense isn't going to win this game, but he's probably going to say what hurt most is the loss.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And this 10-play drive winds up yielding nothing.
Love and the Packers now with a 1st and 10
at the 39-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground
to the 43, 2nd down.
And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Love from the gun on 3rd down. A throw left sideline falls incomplete. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 25 yards that time.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
And this one complete to Smith. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. And it's complete right back in the hands of Smith. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Back to throw again. Over the middle to Smith. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
They'll look to throw again. This short throw caught by Goddard, and he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down to about the 21 or 22. The result, only 4 yards there on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Hurts sets up to throw it. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Again, he'll drop to throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Flushed out right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty, 1st and goal. Back to throw. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Eagles have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead will be cut down to 14. So 2 scores down, time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this is recovered by the Packers, so that might just about do it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. To a knee goes Love, and that should be that.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
A higher scoring game, Charles, than we typically see in the National Football League, but fun to watch these offenses. They were really clicking. It seemed like everything that they dialed up worked.
Yeah, it certainly was fun to watch from our perspective. How'd you like to be those defensive coaches, though? That wasn't a blast for them at all. And let's face it, they all game plan, they all scout, they all think they're prepared, but executing and stopping teams, that's another matter entirely.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.